Hello everybody, Chris with Digital Horizons. We are in the living room of our Experience Center and we're doing another video narration overview. I'm with Scott Johannes and Dustin Christensen. In this particular video, we're going to showcase an install that we did in a custom home theater, actually a fairly large home theater. This room was really fun to work in. There were a lot of elements that were both fun and challenging. And aside from the audio video elements that we provided, we installed a product called Acoustiblok and some other supporting elements that go along with it. And the primary purpose of the Acoustiblok is to contain the sound within the room. So when they're in watching a movie, both they can listen to it at a normal volume, but then also not have to worry about it carrying over to the rest of the house. So they get to enjoy the movie the way it was meant to be enjoyed at a normal volume. So Dustin, why don't you go ahead and hit play on the video. So we are in the room now. In the backdrop, you can see, I guess in the back and the front, that's the stage where all the speakers are, right?
Correct.
So what's the first thing that we have to, when we treat a room like this?
Well, in this case, we had three in-wall speakers behind the screen. So there's three boxes, left, center, and right, and there's also two in-wall subwoofers in the front as well. So those had to be boxed in and prepped.
Yep.
Before we did any of the other material over the top of it.
And so on the wall there, why do we have the probably a 2x6 attaching to the wall there?
Because we were trying to do such long runs with that material. It's extremely heavy. It's kind of it looks easy to deal with in the video,
right.
But
this simplifies it a lot.
It's extremely hard to deal with because it's very heavy material.
It's like 1 pound per square foot or 1.1 or something like that.
So we put the 2x6 up there just so we had like a
support, right?
A support and a line to go off of. So
Dustin, what's the yellow stuff that's on the wall now?
That's the tape that you use to kind of join the two pieces together.
It's like the rubber material itself is like really hard to adhere to, so they've got like this special tape that they use,
glue,
and that keeps basically sound in but airflow limiting from space to space. So where are we at in the process here?
Well, partway in.
We're still hanging the sheets.
We're still hanging it. This was a very long. I don't know how many.
It was
days?
We figured about, what was it, like 5 days? 5 days total. Yeah. I mean, 6 days where there was more than just an hour or so doing some miscellaneous stuff. But
yeah,
how do we attach it to the wall? What's the process?
There's a special cap staples that pierce the material into the stud, and then there's a plastic washer on top that kind of holds the sheetrock off of the material just a little bit, but it also helps support that. You can see on the left side in the video, you can kind of see like little spacers.
Yep.
But it's designed to kind of let that material
flex a bit,
flex and absorb, and that's how the material works. Is the vibration hits the material kind of absorbs it,
converts it to heat actually,
converts it to heat energy instead of sound energy.
Yep.
So. But all the seams have to be caulked behind,
which you can never see because it's going so fast.
Yeah, it goes so quickly on here. But you'll see when we do the sealing, you have to go through the caulking gun and
and again they have a
seam seal at the overlay and then come back and tape it. And
there's a special the caulk they use isn't just a generic caulk. It's actually designed to more or less bond the pieces together. Yeah.
Bond to the vinyl. So.
The ceiling's the best part of this, isn't it, Dustin?
Yeah. It wasn't too bad with the lift. It would be a pain without.
I think that was your idea, wasn't it, for the sheetrock lift on this one?
Yeah, I think it was kind of a group effort. But yeah, it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, we tried it before without that lift, and
it was
not fun. No,
because again, I mean, so what's this room is 17 feet wide, and you're actually using a 17-foot piece there. The rolls, they're 30-foot rolls, I think.
32.
32. Okay. Yeah. So a 17-foot piece is probably 110 pounds, 100 pounds, something like that.
You're probably higher than that.
The rolls are 150, I think, aren't they?
No, I think they're 250.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're pretty heavy. I don't know. 2 guys carrying them around is a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
They're 54 inches tall by 30 some feet long. So I mean, there's a lot of material. There's a lot of mass there.
Yep.
Yeah, the sealing is probably the hardest part because you've got to get the seam pretty much dead on and try not to have too many waves in it because you don't want to have gaps in it for the air to get through, and you have to go back and caulk it and seam seal it. It's quite a process.
So now the thing that you can't see here is, I mean, aside from the speaker boxes that we filled in, we have to prep all protrusions into the room.
Everything.
Yeah. So what do we
Electrical.
do with electrical boxes?
Electrical boxes have to get a special putty patch that goes
Yeah.
around the box itself. In this particular case, most of the electrical was put into pillars
Okay.
because the finished inside of the room is going to have a lot of acoustic panels, and it's
Yep.
going to have pillars and things. So a lot of it was strategically located, so we didn't have a ton of those things in the wall.
Yep.
But yeah, all the cabling that had to get poked through, the HVAC stuff that had to get poked through. I mean, everything has to be addressed. Luckily, there wasn't any in-ceiling light cans because
That's
that
real
just adds a
problematic.
lot of time and messing around to it. You have to do those as well.
Yep.
So, but you can see the speaker brackets. Everything gets trimmed up. It's a whole process to make sure everything gets
And those take a lot of time
in
too.
the correct layer. You know, on the side there's the surround lefts, there's surround backs. There's Dolby
yeah.
Atmos speakers.
We have 2
in the
pairs in the
ceilings.
ceiling. Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of in-wall speakers in here, which does a good job to make the room sound nice.
Aesthetically,
But
yeah.
there's a lot of consideration and work on the back end that nobody even really knows unless you see a video like this. You have
Right.
no idea what goes into something
Right.
like this.
Yep. No, I think we're at least 3 months in advance here, where they've got sheetrock on, and now this room, the Acoustiblok, when it was applied, the stage was already in place,
Yep.
and so now they've come in and they've done the sheetrock, and now we're basically isolating the stage because that's a vulnerability for sound to get in. So we're trying to again capture it
Yeah.
above
the
the
stage
stage.
and the risers.
Yep.
And this is what we're seeing now is the rear
The risers,
risers.
yep.
So we had to take the steps out because it was the best way to do this. We took the steps out of the risers. We have, and you probably can't see it from the video, but there's like a 3 or 4 inch flap all the way around the room from all the Acoustiblok hanging down under the sheetrock.
Yep.
And we have to go around and seam and tie into that so everything is completely covered. So when
Yep.
we're all done with this, everything is completely covered and seamed. Now, yeah, the stage we looked at that for a while to try and find out what the best option was. We were actually going to take the stage off. That's what all this is
Oh, really?
right now.
Okay.
We were
Yep.
trying to remove the stage, but then we figured out that somebody PL 400 glued it to the
Oh,
floor.
that's helpful. Yeah.
So it wasn't coming out. So then our next option was to do.
You mean you didn't want to rebuild the stage?
Well, it was going to rip up a lot of floor with
Yeah.
it, so we figured it was best just to leave it. But we took the top cover off and kind of tied it all in and overlapped it. So at
Yeah.
least it was
Coverage.
coverage, but it also made it easier because the electrician had to cut an outlet in the floor, and so we
Some other
tried
stuff. Yeah.
tried to work around everything as best we could.
So now the finishing step to this is they basically lay the carpet, and
Yep.
the carpet goes over this, and
Tack strips in the corner, put the carpet down just as you normally would.
yeah, the room doesn't, when it comes together, it's no different with or without this. It's just this is that extra layer of absorption essentially in the wall to prevent it from leaving. So
Yeah, if you walk in the room, besides the fact that a movie's playing inside and you can't hear it outside,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to tell that this was done.
right, yeah. In the grand scheme of things, it adds a small bit of depth, but it's almost
It's
it
negligible.
doesn't even matter. Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about 3/16 thickness per
Right, per
wall
side.
surface. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody would ever really notice that.
Yeah.
Of course, then there's a special door that gets put in that's
Yeah, they had an
sound-
acoustically treated door.
treated door as well. So,
Yeah.
and then there's acoustic panels in the ceiling. Well, starlit ceiling.
Yeah, starlit ceiling. Yep.
It's naturally acoustic because it's
Yeah, absorb the sound.
the way
yeah.
it's made.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching the video. If you have any other questions, visit our website. You can check this video out on YouTube. We also have a shorter version. If you don't want to sit through an 8-minute video, we've got a 3-minute version of it as well. Thanks for watching.